Hello and welcome back to the stream, our SnowRunner modding stream, modding tutorial. All right, this one. I'm gonna go over. Um, we're gonna go over how to create an add-on and how to create a tire and rim, or how to create a wheel, and then we're gonna jump straight over to the texturing process. So, in the last episode, I went over some of the issues that you might face with getting the model to work. Some of the issues when you first have the model in game. And I really can't go into specific issues because there could be a number of issues. So this is the point where you want to join a Discord server where other people are modding, and then you can post your issues up there and hopefully get help. So I had some issues where the hub wasn't rotating properly. The wiper mesh, the mesh for the cabin was showing some bits on the wrong side. Just some minor stuff that I had to fix. I've got the truck over here. I'm going to show you. It works just fine. Let's first remove this and this. And let's get it in. So I haven't done the mirrors yet. I haven't done the gauges. I haven't done um the lights. There's quite a lot I haven't done. Um, and as you could see, the mesh for the engine is not showing up as well when you start the engine. I need to fix that. The exhaust is working. I believe that's just about it. One thing I want to mention, whenever you create a mod for the first time and you load it into the game, the first thing you want to do is get your suspension correct. And the best way to do that, I found, is to look at the vehicle from side on, and provided that in the software, the CAD software, that the levels were the same, like the height level. Over here you could see my height level on my wheel hub is 0.79 for the front and 0.79 for the rear. So they're basically leveled. When you import your vehicle into the game for the first time, it might be slouching over. So what you want to do is first you want to get your suspension correct so that the vehicle is stable. And the way to do that is go into the suspension folder and open up the code, and make sure that the heights are the same for both front and rear. So here I've got 0.15 for both front and rear, and I've got the same strength, 0.028 for both front and rear. Now initially when I did that, the vehicle was still slouching forward. That means it was like there was more weight on the front end and it wasn't level. Now most people would probably come here and try to adjust the suspension by making the front higher and stronger. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is go over to your your XML for your Scout and mess with you want to edit the weights for your bone chassis CDT. So the center of mass, I've put mine to minus 0.7. Now these are in meters, so I've put mine to minus 0.7 on the x-axis. What that means is I've shifted the weight of the chassis towards the back by 0.7 of a meter, and then the vehicle became leveled. So this is like the default position, and then from there you can go ahead and tweak your suspension, your different suspensions, and you shouldn't get any issues. So here I can come to the garage and I can go for the spot, and they're all the same height, and it would, it's easier to calibrate suspensions like that rather than keeping the vehicle with a bad offset center of mass and then trying to fix it for suspensions. So yeah, I'm happy with this. What we're gonna do now, as I said, I want to show you guys how to import an add-on. So on this vehicle, I've got the default bumper imported, and a default front and the default rear, and I also have the like the stock roof rack in there as well. I'm gonna quickly go to show you guys how to get that done. All right. Okay, so over here in our software, I've got a separate folder for add-ons. Okay, and now the way you make a separate folder in Blender is you right click and you create a new collection, and then you can call your collection anything. So I'm just gonna type anything here. That's a new collection right there. And you can drag items into it, and you can, so I can turn off the main model, and in the add-ons folder, I've got my add-ons turned on here. You can also create a new armature, or you can just drag the original armature over, copy it, paste it in here, and then delete the bones that you don't want. So in my case, I have got the armature here with the bone roots and the bone chassis here. So if I expand that, you could see it over here on the top right. Alright, so I'm going to just work with the front bumper, and I've done it already, but I'm just going to go through the motion and show you how I did it. So with the front bumper in position, you don't really have to move it in the scene because it's already where it needs to be on your mod. You want to keep it in the scene, so it's here. The first thing you want to do is apply the vertex groups to it. So you want to click on your bumper, hold shift and click on the bone, and then press Ctrl P, and you want to click on armature deform with empty groups. Once you've done that, if you go over to the object data properties, you will see we've created vertex groups for it over here. We don't need the bone root. We could minus delete that, but it doesn't matter. You don't really need it. After that, you want to go into edit mode on the bumper. Make sure it doesn't matter if you're in vertex or face, but I prefer to use vertex mode. You're in edit mode, and you want to hover above you want to select the bone chassis and then apply 100% weights to it, like that. Just click assign. And then if you want to check with the mesh selected, you could go over here and select weight paints, and you could see it's red when you're above the chassis, so you know it's done. Another way of confirming that is clicking on the bone, go into the pose mode, and just press G to move it, and the mesh should follow. So once you've done that, you now want to create a collision mesh for your bumper. Now that's easy. Shift and A to bring in a mesh cube, and then you can go ahead and edit the cube. Now you can edit the cube, you just roughly before you actually edit the cube, what you want to do is you want to pair the cube to the bone chassis, okay, before you start editing it. So the way to do that is you go over to, with the cube highlighted, you go over to object properties, and under relations, under parents, you select your armature group for your add-ons. So for me, it would be my armature add-ons. I've got armature main, armature add-ons. So you would select armature add-ons, and the cube would come over here. It would come under your armature you just made, like that. You then need to call your cube CDT underscore whatever it is. So I'm going to call it underscore front bumper. Okay, and now you need to add it to the parent type. You need to select bone, and then the bone you need to select the chassis bone. It's going to snap to it now. Now I'm going to orient the view to the side view. I'm going to move it over to where the bumper is, and I'm just going to edit it. And you just want to edit it to generally be like roughly the shape that you're going for. So I'm just going to look at this now. I'm just going to position it. I've already done it, but I'm just going to do it here to show you guys how I do it. So I'm just going to add a few loop cuts, and then I'm just going to move bits. Oh, actually, if I hold all of that and rotate it, and that should be easier like this. And then I'll just move some bits, and you just want to move some bits around, just to have the general shape of your mesh. I'm just going to do a quick one here. I'm not going to take my time on it because I've already done it. Just a rough shape. I would do a better job than this, but for the purpose of the video, that's a rough shape. Yeah, just a rough shape. And once you've got that mesh done, you want to make sure your rotation and scales are applied. So with the pivot point up here as the 3D cursor, and the 3D cursor is in the middle of the scene, you want to highlight your mesh and your your collision mesh and your bumper, and then you want to press RX minus 90 to apply that rotation, and then hit Control A and apply rotation and scale, and then RX 90 to bring it back up. So then that 90 degrees will be applied. From there, you want to make sure that your mesh itself, the bumper, has a material. So here I've called it default add-on matte, and the weights are applied. So there's two things: material applied, weights applied, and then you've got a collision mesh, and that's it. Now, remember when you export from SnowRunner from Blender to the SnowRunner, you need to make sure you have a root node, a CDT root node in your scene. Just a mesh just hanging around called CDT underscore root node. It's not parented to anything. It's just a shape. You highlight the shape, the bone, the collision mesh, and your bumper, and you go to File, Export, FBX. Same as before, you need to make sure you have the armature selected and all the presets I said earlier, and then you export it to the meshes folder of your truck. So I've done that already. So I'm just going to delete this this new CDT I made. I could show you my old the one I made original for my mod itself. It's here. So once you've exported that, in the folder, the mods folder, it goes in the meshes, trucks, tuning. So it's here. I've got my front bumper, ForRunner front bumper. Now the XML and the mesh itself, the FBX file, needs to be have the same name. And in the XML file, you pretty much just write the name of the material that you created in Blender that you want to call up, and you apply a texture map to it. You give the path of the texture. So when I create textures for the truck, and I have other folders in my textures folders for models. So in textures folder, I've got models, trucks, and wheels. You can create any folder here you want, or you could put all the textures into one folder. It doesn't matter, as long as you call the path out in the XML file where it is. So for me, it's models, and it's called black underscore D underscore A. So if I go here, I can show you in models. That's it. So that's the XML file. That's the mesh side sorted. Then you go to your class folder, and then you create an XML for that add-on to tell it how it's going to work in game. So in your classes tuning folder, you can call it the same name as well. And the way you do it is over here in the physical mesh, physical model. You just show the path of your add-on, and then you put the bone that's controlling it. You apply the weights. So for me, I just put a mass of 20 because it's quite small, and it's on the bone chassis. I've got all this uncommented, this commented code out because some of my bumpers I use the same file for it. Some of them have lights on there, so I just leave that here and I just duplicate the file to use it on another bumper. And if I want to add lights to the bumper, I just use these. All up here is just templates I've created. If you want to use my templates, just download any of my mods and you could find this in there. So I've got a template for lights. I've got white lights, warm light, rear lights, yellow flares, red flares, orange, white, warm whites. I've got shackles. I love to have stuff like swing about in my bumper, so I've got all the templates created already. So down here I wouldn't have to rewrite loads of code. For the game data, you select the camera preset that you created in your truck file of the angle you want the bumper to be looked at in the garage, and you put a category, or it's going to come like under the list of categories. You put a price, whether you want it to be locked at rank 1, you put that in there, and you give it a user interface name and a description if you want. The important thing in this file you need to pay aware of is the install socket type. Okay, this is important. So when the type you write in here is the socket name that's going to be allowing you to add that to your truck. Now when I write socket names, I make them specific to every mod, because if I create a generic socket name like front bumper, every mod you use in SnowRunner, if it has that socket type, their add-ons will show up on your mod. So you want to make sure. So for instance, ForRunner front bumper, I'm never going to have another socket type called ForRunner front bumper, right? But I could have a million called front bumper if I'm not careful. So I create ForRunner front bumper here, all right? So that's a socket type I've created. In your mod file, the class file for your truck, the way you add the bumper is you need to have an add-on socket, the class add-on socket, and in there you have the socket. You have the name of the socket name you created, and then you parent it to a bone in here. So for me, you could see I've got it here as the ForRunner front bumper. I just copy and paste the word in here. You can also put other tags in here. Here I've got a default add-on tag, so that means it will spawn with the truck when you spawn the truck in. If not, you can just add it there without having the default add-on. So that's how you do it. Okay, now I'm gonna go through doing the tires. I haven't done any tires yet. Well, I have a tire pack added to my mod already, but the tire that the model came with, I haven't done it yet. So I'm gonna quickly go through how to get it done, and then we will move on to getting some interesting stuff done, like the texture. So I'm gonna close the add-on class I've made, and I've got a wheels class, a wheels folder. So as you could see, I've got this stuff in here from previous when I took the model apart. Okay, I'm just gonna hide this one because we don't really need this. And this is the tire here. Yeah, this is the tire and the rim and tire or the wheel. Okay. First thing you want to be aware of is centralize. You want to centralize this mesh. You want to put it in the center of your scene, okay? And the easiest way to do that is to find a point on here by going to edit mode that you can confirm that it's the center of the wheel. So for me, I'm gonna highlight this little. I'm gonna come in close. I'm gonna select 3 for face mode, and I'm gonna just hold Alt and press and click on this. I know this is the center point, okay? I'm gonna press Shift and S, and I'm gonna put cursor to selected. Cursor is gonna come dead center here. I'm gonna come out of edit mode, and I'm gonna go up with the wheel highlighted. I'm gonna go over to object, and I'm gonna put set origin to 3D cursor. The origin of the wheel now has come in the center here, and I can confirm it's the dead center because it is. I'm gonna press Shift and S and press 1 or click cursor to wheel origin, so the cursor can go back. And I'm gonna press, with the wheel highlighted, I'm gonna press Alt and G on the keyboard, and it's gonna snap the wheel to the center of the scene. The next thing you want to be aware of is that in SnowRunner, all wheels that are exported from any CAD software needs to have a diameter of 2 meters or a radius of 1 meter. Same thing. To ensure that, you want to then create a shape. So I always create a cube. So Shift and A to bring a cube in the scene, a mesh cube, and then over in the dimensions corner, I'm just gonna hit 2 on all the dimensions. So 2 on the X, 2 on the Y, 2 on the Z. And this is this has to be the size of your wheel, 2 meters in diameter. Remember, 2 centimeters represents 2 meters in the game. Okay. So let me go into X-ray mode so I can see through the mesh. So with the wheel selected, I'm just going to go into edit mode, press A to select everything, and I'm going to hit S on the scale, S to scale, and I'm going to hold Shift and slowly pull it apart, making sure that I hit the edges of the shape. I'm going to have a look from up here and see when it's protruding through. I'm going to press S again and just come, and that's it. I'm happy with this. This is 2 meters in diameter. I'm going to now delete my cube. You don't need it. If you click on the wheel, you could see here it says 2.01. That's okay. It's just the tread just popping through. That's okay. The next thing you want to make sure you've done is you've applied the rotation to this. Just like I said, this is a Blender issue, not SnowRunner. You need to make sure you apply rotation. So RX minus 90 as before. Control A, apply rotation and scale, and then RX 90. And then you have your scale and your scale applied, your rotation applied here, and your scales are all 1, and that's good. Your X and your Y shows the 2 meter diameter, and your Z shows the thickness of the tire of the wheel. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the default material that this came with. So I'm going to just hit minus on the material tab over here, just to get rid of it. Now, in SnowRunner has 2 ways of exporting wheels. One way is to export the entire wheel as one mesh with the rim included. And then you need to indicate in the code at what point does the rim stop. And then the game will work out at what point does the tire start. You can do it this way if you don't want to change rims. But if you do want to have one tire and different rims fitted, then you need to export these as 2 different meshes, okay? So, with this, the material we've removed on here, I'm going to create my own new material. I'm going to call it SnowRunner underscore stock. Stock wheel. So SnowRunner stock wheel is the material I've created. Now I'm gonna separate the wheel and the tire. I'm going to separate them now. And the way I'm going to do that is by clicking away, make sure I'm in face mode, and I'm going to link. Just tap L on the surfaces, and I'm going to hide. Press H to hide. Side view, I'm going to go into this mode. I'm going to grab the rim here. I'm going to press P, separate selection, and then I'm going to unhide everything. So now I've got the rim separate. Okay, you could see it here, it's separate. Next thing I want to be aware of is making sure that the polygon count and the faces count is within the limit, because we still have a limit on our exporting meshes. If you want to be really technical, you can actually create a high poly. You can create a normal map to represent the threads. I can show you guys how to do that if you really want, or you can just export this as it is. Basically what that means is if you export just a circle, you can make threads look like they're there, but they're not really there. That saves on optimization. Or you can just export this as it is and it's fine. I'm going to remove the sharpness on here, and I'm going to apply some smoothing. What have I done? Oops, no, not that. I'm going to apply some smoothing to it. That's it. And we're good. Okay. Alright. So we've got our tire and our rim. Okay. They both have materials. They've both applied scale and rotation. And we are now going to export it, and they're at the right size. They're both one. It's at the right scale. Okay, so now I'm gonna export this. Also, one more thing is the direction of travel. Some tires have a direction of travel. So if you're looking at it, if you press 1 on the keyboard, the front travel direction in SnowRunner is this side, the right side, and this is behind. So if your tire treads are facing certain ways, I've got some tires they can only face one way. Then you want to rotate your tire. You just have to click on the tire and press RZ 180, and it would rotate and it would position it again on the rim. All right. Some other thing I want to mention before we, so up until now I've been looking at the tire from the side, okay, which is okay, but looking at it from the front, it's not in the center of the scene. So I'm gonna highlight everything. I'm gonna go into edit mode, and I'm gonna centralize it. So I'm just gonna press GY just to bring it over. I'm gonna zoom in and make sure I've got it in the center as possible. And yeah, this looks good. Okay, I'm happy with this. Okay, now I'm gonna click the tire mesh. I'm gonna go to file, export, FBX. I'm gonna find the folder, which is in the mods meshes. Now I've got my own folder here inside the meshes called wheels. I'm gonna make a new folder because I don't really need this wheel. I'm just doing for tutorial purposes. So in the meshes, I've got trucks and wheels. I'm gonna make a new folder just to show you. I'm gonna put I'm gonna call it stock wheel. Stock wheel, okay? So come back over to Blender and refresh. Stock wheel is here. So I'm gonna put this in the stock wheel folder. The only thing you need to be aware of when you're exporting is you just have mesh selected. You can use the same presets I showed you guys how to do before, but just make sure it's just mesh. That's it. And then you go in here and then you export. Now you need to give it a name. So I'm gonna call it SnowRunner stock tire, and you hit export. And then for the you do for the rim. I'm gonna call it SnowRunner stock rim. Export. And we're good. Now if we come over to the folder, we should see these two FBX files in here. I've got 3 runner stock rim. Should be 4. There you go. You can open this up in Windows as well, and you could see it just by double clicking on it. It's there. Alright, so you've got it here. Alright, now you need to have an XML file as before to apply textures to that wheel. Okay, the XML file needs to be the same name as the mesh. So I've just got a random XML file I copied over here. I'm going to open it up. I'll bring it to the side. Open up Blender. So this is our stock. This is stock tire. So stock tire, the material we used is SnowRunner stock wheel. You just put the material here where it says name. You put the material, that's the material you want to put in here, and then you put the texture that you want to apply to it. The texture map I have got here, you could put any texture map, you could apply any textures you want. Now in textures wheels folder, I haven't got any black. I could use the one from the models folder actually. Okay, I could use the one from the models folder. So I'm just gonna say that the let me just close this up. So I'm saying that the map is in models / it's called black, BLACK. I don't have a shading map, so I'm just gonna comment this out, and I don't have a normal map. Now the combined mesh type is will. You have that indicated that it's a will type, and it's not double-sided. I put false in here. Save that. Let's have a look over here again to do the one for the, this is the tire. We need to do the one for the rim. So I'm just gonna copy this XML file and make sure it's got the same name as the rim. Now, if I open this up, here's an easy thing, cool thing as well. Because it's got the same material in Blender, I don't have to change anything in here. That's the same material, that's the same texture map, that's fine. Come over to the editor and you can actually load it up and test it. So we go over to wheels, meshes, stock wheel here, and we have our SnowRunner stock rim. You can click on it, open it up, and see it here. And same for the tire. Here it is. All right, now we have to actually add this to the truck, okay? The way you do this is by, let's open a new window. We go to the class folder. So notice the pattern here. Meshes are loaded up in the mesh folder with textures, and class folder tells the game how it behaves. So in our class wheels folder, I'm gonna add, okay, I've got loads in here already, right? But I'm just gonna use, make a new, copy one and rename it. So I'm gonna call it SnowRunner stock wheel. I'm just gonna call it SnowRunner stock wheel. So stock. All right, this should be okay now. I don't know what's going on. OBS is kind of mad. It just stuck on something that wasn't even on screen. Let's move on, okay? So now we're gonna do talk about creating textures. I just spoke about Substance Painter and where you can get the software from. I'll just quickly go over that again. You can get it on Steam for a fixed price, or you can pay monthly for subscription. The only disadvantage is if you buy it outright, you only get updates for a limited period of time. If you subscribe, you get updates regularly when they come out. I think I mentioned before that this is industry standard, so if you really want to stand out and do proper textures for video game engines, this is the way to go. There are courses you could do online. You can check out Skillshare or LinkedIn Learning, and you can learn stuff on there, okay? Yeah, I'd recommend you get this if you want to make good mods. All right, so moving on. I was saying as well that I'm no expert. I'm a hobbyist, and all the stuff I've learned is from trial and error. So some of the stuff I show you, there might be easier ways of using it for those of you who are experienced. So the first thing you want to do is load your file, right? You want to go to new, and select. So it has some templates. This is for Unreal Engine 4. It doesn't matter. You want to go over there to select, and then find the XPX file, and then load it up. You want to have the document resolution set. You can you can change this in here, but I normally have it at 2K. Compute tangent space per fragment. You can have that checked if you're going to import your textures into Blender again to view your mod, but I normally have that turned off. And anything else here, I don't really need it. So when you hit OK, it's going to load up the model. I've done that already, so I'm just going to open recent, and I've got it here already. Okay, so this is the model. Now, once you have your model in Substance Painter, the first thing you want to do is make your different material, your shaders. Okay. Now these are all the materials I created in Blender. They're gonna show up here. So for instance, I have a glass here. So you want to go over to where it says on the texture set settings. You want to click down on that tab, and you want to create a new shader instance. And then when you finish, you go over to this tab, shader settings, and you can give it a different name. So I've called it glass, and then you want to select your shader. So I've selected PBR metal rough with alpha blending. This is going to give it the glass-like look in the game. The rest of the shaders can stay as they are. Oh no, sorry. You want to make sure I use PBR metal rough. Other modders use different ones. You can use car paints. I've tried that before. Yeah, PBR metal rough works good for me. Afterwards, you want to come down, and you then want to bake your textures. But before that, for glass, you can add an opacity channel over here. I've already added it, and that's all. And then you just come over here to texture set settings, and then you hit bake mesh maps. This menu opens up, and I normally like to bake at 4K, 2K for the most part. Sometimes I bake at 4K, but it doesn't really matter, because when you come to export your textures, you can export them at 1080p. But I would like to bake at normally 2K is okay for baking. Other settings, you want to change your anti-aliasing to 16x, and then on the ambient occlusion, I normally set my max occluded distance to 0.06, and here on the self occlusion, the default is always what that does is it creates an ambient occlusion look around meshes that are next to each other. Sometimes you can avoid that by exploding the model before you export it, or if you don't want the ambient occlusion look, you can just select only same mesh name, and then the ambient occlusion would not be there around other meshes. Apart from that, I deselect normal, I deselect ID, and you click here for to apply selections to all texture sets. So it will be across the same for all of them. And then you just hit bake mesh maps. At that point, you might as well go on a new skill, go make a coffee, go for a run. This took me 2.5 hours to bake. So it's done, okay? We are now going to start working this and applying textures to this. The first thing I'm going to do, I have a pre-made texture already I like to use for my vehicle bodies on the smart materials. So I'm just going to get it up, and I'm going to drag it across to my body on my truck. It's something I've been using quite a while, and I've made it already. So I am just going to get it up and edit it. So what do I want in here? Okay. These are all my colors I've pre-made already. And this is my effects I've got applied to them. Just crazy stuff. You can tell where this came from. It came from my my Tacoma. But we don't need that on there, so I can take all that off. Turn all that off. We don't want any dirt for now. Turn that off. I'm going to add the base. So I'm going to turn all of these off, and I'm going to have just the base. Okay. Now the color I want to use for this, this has a mask on it. I'm gonna remove the mask. Yeah. Okay, this has a mask on it. I want a different color here. I'm gonna make a new color. I'm gonna use the default color I like. The cool thing about this is you could do stuff like that. Maybe I go for the brighter side. Depending where the lighting is hitting it. That's too. I'll go lighter. What here? I could go darker. I could just edit it in the editor, but for now that'll do. Now with that base color, I can now start doing my layering. I could edit the way it looks. I could increase the roughness. You could really make it matte green if you want. I'll go for 0.3. 0.3 is okay. Don't have any height on here. I don't need heights. I don't need normal. I don't need metal. I don't need heights. I'm happy with this. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I could go a little bit less on the roughness. 0.25. Yeah. I have other colors as well I could mess with. If I just want some inspiration. But I'll go for this one. Okay. All right. Now we don't have anything here. Now when I do this, right? It's always advisable to get inspiration. I try to make my models as realistic as possible, so I go to Google and look at images. Okay, so some of them have all body color. I think that's a general look at the vehicle. The wing mirror has the same color as well. Okay, the wing mirror seems to have the same color. Some of them are black. Some of them match the color of the body. Okay. All right. Yes, that's a general one. Okay, I like it. That's all right. Okay, I like this. This is a good one to look at. Okay, so we have some black on here, and we have this body color here. Okay, I like that image. All right. So, actually, I love that color. I kind of like that color. I'm gonna go for that color. It's like a bluish color, but is it blue or green? Ooh, that's too bright. I'll select the dark part of the vehicle and I'll tweak it. The cool thing is we can change that on the fly anytime we want. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know which color I'm happy with, but we can change it later down. It doesn't matter. What I want to do now, what is this? We got some weird ambient occlusion happening here. Okay, so what I want to look at now is I could just go to the glass. Let's go to the glass. I can isolate the glass on its own. Let's just do this. This can take hours, by the way. So I'm not gonna stream me doing this the entire time. I could spend, sometimes I would do some work, I would leave it, come back to it. Okay, so I've got a set I made for glass, and I'm just gonna mask where the glass is and where the lights are. So I'm just gonna create a mask here. Okay, so that's my glass, and that's my lights. So I would like the lights to be different. Lights here. That's lights here as well. And we got them down here. Okay. Alright, so we're good. Okay. For the glass, okay. So our headlights are a bit clearer. It's kind of like the windshield one, which is 0.6 on the opacity. So I go 0.6, and then they're a bit less black. So here. Yeah, I think that's okay for now. Okay. All right. Okay, what am I looking at now? I want to make, so I've got the glass okay-ish. Oh, you know what? The gauges glass needs that shader as well. So you can come down here and you can change the gauges ones to glass. And then you can actually go inside. And then I can actually see. Okay, so here I can bring this over. And I can apply glass to that as well. Okay. Hang on, I didn't apply an opacity channel to this. Here we go, opacity. And then I can change the opacity. 0.7 should do. 0.7. Yeah. Make it a bit clearer. This. Nice. Yeah, we're getting there. Getting there. Got a long way to go. Oh, this is gonna take ages. Yeah, you can spend a long time on this. What else am I looking at here? We got the chassis, we got the exterior. So for the exterior, let's just try some plastic type stuff. Let's try some gloss plastic, and then we can remove some gloss away from it. First thing I don't like about this is the fill. It's got like a rough feel to it. Don't like it. Let's get rid of that. It's got a grunge map, which is good. We can see the grunge map on here, which is not too bad. We can edit the map though. We can edit that. We can come down and reduce the levels. Here's a trick. If you're using this on yourself, you can always come down here and reduce. If you're getting performance issues, you can come down here. So I'm going to put this to 2K. Make things a bit faster. And then, yeah. Okay, that looks good. Now we just come over here. It's a bit shiny though. Really shiny for my liking. But we can come here in roughness, and we can change that. So I'm gonna go for 0.5, and then I'm just gonna find the right color. Again, if I need help, I can come over here and I can look. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Let's change things up on here a bit, shall we? Yeah, leave it like that. Just for a little bit. Okay. Something I really want to work on though. This plastic bumper. I could use the same material for this add-on. So on the exterior, I have this plastic glossy. I can copy it and I can go to here and I can paste it. I was gonna make this look plastic as well, which I don't mind. And then it's gonna do that one at the back here, which is okay. I don't mind at all. Okay. Something I want to work on is these right here, these bad boys right here. Now let me get some references. These are different. So this is orange. This is the same. Hmm. 2021 400 headlights. That's what I've typed in. Come on, come on. I just want a close up on one. That's not the same. They've got an LED strip across them. Is that what that is? That's not what that is, surely. This doesn't have an LED strip. Okay. I just want a bit of reference. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to get creative here. So in my layers tab, I'm gonna have a base. Okay. So I'm gonna put a base here. Okay. I'm not gonna put it in the folder. I'm gonna put it outside the folder. And this is gonna be like a let me just change some stuff about this. I'm gonna turn off the normal, keep the metal, maybe keep the roughness, get rid of the height, full on metal, no roughness. Okay. It's weird that you can have something half metal, but hey. I'll go for 0.1. I'll go for 0.75. So whatever. Hopefully that does something. Okay. I'll keep that at the base. And in here, I'm gonna have a black mask. I'm gonna give this the orange. Nice look. I believe this is on this panel. Now the cool thing is, because I mirrored this in Blender and I UV map this side, everything I do on this side will appear on that side. You see? Cool. Okay. Okay. And I think the back has orange as well. Not sure which part though. I know this is red. 2021. That's why I typed in. All sorts of lights come up. Come on, just show me this one. Just want one image. Is it this? That looks like it. Yes, yes, that's it. What's this strip there? Okay, so this is chrome. This bit looks like reddish, orangish. I don't know. Can't tell. What about this one? No. What about this one? This looks like it. Yes, this is it. It's red. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this. Red. Clear mask. I'm gonna put it here. Okay, this looks accurate, I believe. It's got some red down here. And it should have orange. I don't know why there's no orange. I'm guessing this is where the orange is. Maybe. I don't know. It should have an indicator. Nope, undo this. Nope, not all of that. Impossible. This is like no. No. Maybe it's this. I don't know. I'll see how it looks, and if I don't like it, I'll get rid of it. So what I'm doing now, I'm just creating a mask, and the mask will determine where certain stuff is gonna get placed. So we've got red, we've got orange, and we've got a base. Okay. All right. So being a subscribed member to Substance, you can go onto the store and you can just look for stuff. Oh, search for the wrong thing. Come on. What did I type here? Come on. Kind of like this one. SB SAR. Can I put it on another screen? It's called the one I just downloaded. It should be somewhere here. Where is it? Did it just go to my downloads? Oh, I've got to put it in the folder myself. Alright, I need to put this in the folder myself. Okay. I have to find the folder where this is installed. Is it a smart material? Or will it go on the other? The smart materials are different. They're SPSM. This is just a material. I'm just gonna create a new folder. Downloads. Let's call it downloads. Okay, here we go. And I'm gonna place this in here. Okay. Now, what's gonna happen? It's gonna look fancy like this, but that's not what we want. We need to do some work to this. So what we need to do is over here, I think on the MDL, we can mess with this value. But here, let's increase the tiling. Creates like a normal map effect as well. And it gives it that look, you know, that look. I'm going for 28. The color is okay, I think. If not, we can change the color. I think it's okay for now. If I'm not happy, I could alter it at some point. Okay. Alright, well, this is going to obviously appear at the back as well if we have it on anything. I might want to increase that to cover this area here. So all I need to do is just come here and just apply it here. See how that looks. Again, a lot of those things is how I feel. I don't know if I don't have reference images, I would see how it looks, see if I'm happy with it, and then if I am, I would keep it. If not, I'll get rid of it. So it's F. All right, let's go over here. There's one, and let's see how that looks with everything back. Seems legit. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to take some of that orange bit from the middle. Now, at first glance, I do like how shiny it is. I like the shine. I could, however, reduce some of the roughness, which is so the roughness initially was 0.1. I'll go for 0.3 or 0.4. And then the tiling, I'll go for 30. Yeah. And we can rotate it as well. Is that the right orientation though? I think it is. But we can rotate it if we don't like it. Anyway, for now, let's leave it out, okay? And what I want to do now is, let's get rid of the glass. Is the this headlight. The way I want to approach this is by getting another substance material. So there, I'm just gonna type headlights, and I can download. Kind of like that one. Yeah, let's download that one, see what it looks like. I've got the folders open, so I'm just gonna drag this into our downloads folder, and it should show up right here if we have the name correct. Here. How I'm gonna do this? Okay, so I'm gonna create a. Oh, before I do that, this thing we just did, I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it in here. I'm not gonna change the name. I'm just gonna change the color. So this is gonna show up at the back here. Okay, and I'm just gonna change the color of it. And then I might rotate it as well, I believe. I don't like the way it's angled. So come here and just apply. Let's apply 90 degrees to this, see how it looks. 90 is the 45. Yeah, this will make things different. Okay, looking good. Okay. We can change the tile in here as well. The tile in here really affects it a lot though, apart from the one down. So let's do 1.5. Let's do, yeah, so we could go 1.5 on the other one as well. 1.5. Okay. All right. Okay. I could actually put this in here and okay, let's create another folder called whites. Copy paste. I'm just gonna put this in here. I'm gonna just create an effect. So I'm gonna clear the mask and I'm gonna add the new mask here. So just hit 4 on the keyboard and hit this area here. And then in here I'm gonna change this color to something like this. Alright, so let's leave that like that for now. I believe that's what it looked like. If not, I'll just change it, but I did see this one here. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, we'll mess with that later on. What I want to do now is the headlights. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new folder called headlights. I'm gonna mask it to here. Let me just make sure it's on here. Okay, it's on here. And in that folder, I'm gonna add kind of weird. Let me see how this looks. I've never used this before. Maybe mess with the scale. Can I change the scale? No, I can't. Tiling. Okay, so it's very fidgety. Okay, let me go for 15 and see. I might be able to position it. No, 20. And then actually UV projection is probably the best one. Let's just try it later. I've never used this before. This is the first time I've used this on any headlights. So I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Let me isolate this. Might make things easier to understand. It's super tile though. Nah, that doesn't even look good. That's weird. What if I negative value? No, that doesn't work. I need to figure this out, or I could just use a different texture. Tell you what, I'm gonna use something different. Let's just get something simple. This was quite simple. This one was quite simple. Let's go ahead and get that. Yeah, this one was quite simple. Try that in here. And then we just change it to triplanar and then find the right scale. That's a lot of time spent on something so simple. And I'm kind of happy with it. It's okay if I headlights. So I've got headlights on. Okay, it's been a glass. Okay, kind of like this. All right. Is the realizer's tricky because I haven't found one that looks like the one I've got. This is the closest. I can't really make out what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. This is... There's red here and orange here. So red at the bottom. So where it says red here, I'll get rid of that glass. Glass is in the way. So when I put orange the first time, I think I got that in the wrong place. I should put it like here. Is that what it's saying? Alright. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's only a mod. Doesn't have to be perfect. I guess I just want it to look realistic, but I think that'll have to do. And the white. The white is below, so it's fine. It's not going to affect it. But just in case. Like that. And I want the white to be here as well. Looks like it is. on this. Okay. All right, and then there is some stuff going on here. Yeah, I think this is okay for a mod. All right, let's see how it looks with the glass on top of it. I think this is okay for a mod. Looks realistic, I think. I still need to figure out this bit. Okay, how long was that? That just took us ages just to spend on the lights. So you can imagine how long it's gonna take for the rest of the truck. They have an LED strip above them. I could do that, you know. I could make that into a strip. Where would it go? I could make that into an LED strip. I'll see how it looks like. It has it across here, going down. Also, that is not orange. That is white. So get rid of that. Get rid of that orange. Put it on the whites. And then this as well. Whoa. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Kind of cool. I like it. We are making the front glass look realistic. And for the last bit, I'll probably just put some LED strip here in the game, make it lights up, look like nice lights. Okay, so we are getting there. I've got quite a lot to do, as you can tell. We've only just started. The logo is an easy one to do as well. We could have a quick look at some of the models on how the logos are written. And let's just 2021 SnowRunner and just have a quick look. And I want a real one, real image. I can't tell what this is it? Is that black? Looks like it's in black. Okay, looks like it's in black. If that's the case, then we can just kind of shame to have it black though, because it hides it. Maybe some are in black, some in chrome. I don't know. I would put it for chrome, I think. Oops, no. I would go for like a chrome, the same base I used here. I'm gonna call it base chrome. I just made here. I would just take that and copy it to my where is it here? Just paste this here, and then I would then come around and change some of them. So I would take the exterior, no, not that one, interior, exterior, where I made that plastic, and I would just copy that and put it on here. So it would be on top, and I would create a mask, and then in the mask I would highlight which ones I want to have as the black. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna call this black, and I'm gonna copy it, paste it. I'm gonna call it red. I'm gonna clear the mask. I'm gonna redo the mask again over here. I'm gonna come here, take the dust off. We don't want any dust. I should have done it for the others as well. Now if we go all the way through and turn that dust off, and then come down here, and I would change this to red. Okay. No. Is that the correct one? No. So undo that. It's this one. I want to change to red. And then I would get my black on here. Yeah, I think that's okay for now. Okay. Dust. We have dust on stuff that I don't want to have dust on. This has to be a brand new ride. Okay, that's not too bad. Dust is okay. Okay, alright, we're getting there. The tinted glass makes it look like the interior is textured. But yeah, for the chassis, easy one. I'm just gonna I've got a smart material already for chassis. Unfortunately, it's covered in dirt, but I'll have to tweak it. So drop it on here. Done. Oh, we've got a chrome under here. I've seen this written in red. So let's go back to our logo layer and the red layer, the red mask. Let's just change this so that it looks red. Okay, we want it like that instead. Now let's work on some bits. I want this to be a steel. We don't want, we can't have discs looking like that. So let's go to the chassis. And over here on the main, we can turn that off. Okay, let's create a new layer here. Let's go to a new folder. Let's call it steel. Mask it. And let's because we unwrap this together, this is what happens. It applies it to the other side. We didn't do it for the back. Alright, let's just see how that looks. Just randomize everything for now and jump out of that. And let's find something appropriate for this folder. Alright, so off the bat I can tell that this dirt layer is affecting this. So let's go into this mask area and let's tell it to not affect some of our stuff. Okay, we don't want it to touch this. Is that enough? We don't want that effect on here. That surface detail, we don't want that. We also do not want that fill. Oh, what is this? Edges. We don't want edges on here. Or we could leave the edges, but we could tweak it. No, that's fine. Let's bring that back. It's the edges that was making it look weird. Okay. Okay, that's fine. All right. All right. Well, again, what do we need? The base for the lights, or the logo actually, this base could be used in here. Get in. See you on the steering wheel. Okay. Okay, so we have quite a lot done. So far I've been focused on the exterior. I'm happy with that. Lights look really nice. Some of the body colors I notice have got like a black bit here, the wheel arch bit, but that's fine. Don't have to. Okay, that's fine. Okay. This is red. Should it be red? No, it should be black. So see that our black is on top. We change this one. So we only want this to be black. Okay. Right. Okay, we're looking good. I might change this to black at some point. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. And okay. All right. What's next? We have the interior to do. Yo. All right. Let's go to the interior. Okay. I'm happy with this. At this point, I would just go like put in stains and scratches and dirt. I don't feel it that for that model, 2021 model. I'm feeling keeping it pristine. So I could change the roughness map, give it some more roughness details, not necessarily dirt, but if I show you what I mean up here, hopefully you will understand. So if I turn this on, you probably didn't know what just happened, right? But those are the sort of effects that I add to the mod. So this is my roughness map, and so on. So I add those on to make it look realistic-ish. If you come really close, you could see it. Okay. All right. I'm happy with that. What I'm gonna do now is I could export those textures and start applying them, and then check it out in game to see how it looks. And then I could change some stuff about the roughness and whatnot. And oh, we need to change this. This is the exterior, right? Yes, exterior. So over here, I'm gonna paste something. See if this works. What did I paste? I paste something, and I think it went into here. On the body. Where did it go? Base. Okay, I'm gonna X this after it saves. Okay, so I'm gonna just get rid of that and go over to the exterior. And I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna paste this down. This is gonna be what I consider mirrors. So I'm gonna type MIRRORS and I'm gonna apply this to the mirror. One mirror here, one mirror here, and drag this in here, and then voila. Now I'm gonna give this a bit more sheen, just like that. We're good. We're good. You can even go as far as making it proper metal. I'll do it to here. Is fine, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Obviously, this needs to copy, and we go into the interior. This is no, not this one. Is it this one? Yes. I want this here as well. And I want this on here. So the mirror can show up here as well. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's start just messing about with some stuff on the inside now. Okay. I'm gonna stop the video here soon because this bit's gonna take some time. Let's just mess with some different materials. See how we feel. Drag some leather on here. Leather seats. Most images have them black. We could change it to whatever color we want. Let's go for some reference. Kind of like that. Madness. Let's try copy this. And we have this as well. We also have the dark touches. Turn it off. We don't want no dark touches on here, right? And then we have the seats we're looking at over here. We You can literally copy it. This software is absolutely remarkable for that. Okay, I'm happy with that. We do need to change some bits in here. There's quite a lot of plastic in here, metal. Okay, I can mess about, so I'm gonna just call this leather. That'll be the base, and then we're gonna put stuff on top of it. So I'm gonna have the different plastics. Add a black mask to that, and then just make the different colors that we're gonna probably see in here. So I can imagine it's gonna be black, it's gonna be red. Yeah, and I'll get that plastic from the exterior that I made earlier. Let's copy that and come to our seats and go in here. Sorry, just paste that in here and drag it in here, and then start finding the bits that we want to change. Okay, so this for sure is one. This. No, because I did this in Blender where I mirrored it and I exported the mirror. I UV mapped it first, and then I mirrored it. Basically, the UV map is a 2D image, so I could demonstrate that. So that's the UV map. So this is like two images laid on top of each other. So the left side of the vehicle, the seats, and the right side of the vehicle are both laid on top of each other. So if you select this, you select both, right? That's the reason why I did it like that. I think looking at that image, using that for reference, I can, oh, where did it go? Come up. Come on, here, not on the other screen. Okay, so I can see this bit of the seat here is black. Everything down here as well. Yeah, you're not gonna see all of that. We can just get that gone. Okay, this. Okay, let's get this dash out of the way. It's getting in our way. Here we have this. We have this. We have this. We have this. This. And what else? I think that's it. What about that? And that. And that. Whatever that is. And that. Okay. I think we're getting there. This is my process, guys, of how I create my my stuff. Just going through it like this, and then over here we have what I class as red, and I will just do the same thing. Probably you would never see those actually whilst you're driving, to be honest, but yeah. That should be that. No, we need a where did I get the chrome from here? This chrome look. I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it somewhere here. I'm gonna put it at the top. I'm gonna mask it, and I am going to apply it to this and this. Okay, and then I'm I'm going to change the color of this. Oh no, I haven't got anything in here yet. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in here. And I'm going to open this up, go down here, go down here, and I'm going to come over here. And then I'm going to open this up, and you're going to see what the method to my madness. And this is the interior. Now the seats, okay, I should have a mask on that, really. No, I shouldn't. I will just have to redo the bits that. So I'm going to put this up here. Let's call it doors or something. And I'm going to mask it. Yes. I don't know why it's still. Oh, because the base doesn't have a color. So if I just put a random color in here, it should hold it for me still. And then we'll just copy and paste and call it belts. And then okay. So this is the only two things we need to really change in here. I'm gonna try something else as well to be creative. I'm gonna change this to orthographic view, and I'm gonna snap it to the center. So you can go here, dead center, and I'm gonna just move this here. Okay, change the camera, the atmosphere, environment, and I'm gonna come over here. Now on here, I'm going to get something in here. Show you guys something really cool about this type of software, so that you could do. Just trying to paint the mask. Is that what I'm doing here? Yeah. Hopefully that's what I'm doing. Not sure this is gonna work. What I had to do was depress this. I wanted to depress it, create a height map. Okay. It's mirrored it. Okay, I need to fix that. I have to do it. That's not even gonna work, is it? That's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to do it on one seat because technically you don't see the driver's seat, do you? Okay. I'll do it on that seat over there. I'll have to do a projection with the I'll have to do a projection on the height map. Like that. No, you can't do it like that. You've got to turn everything off. And then maybe leave color on and use it as a stencil. So let me just get rid of that first. Is this the remove mask? Okay, should have done that. This is the mask area. I should have really put the mask on here, you know. Okay, let me remove the mask on here and try the mask on here and see if that works. And here, I want height. I want roughness, metal. Okay. And then I'm gonna add this as a. I can't do that, can I? Let me start it one more time. All right, so sorry, this software is a bit intermittent. I've got a decent internet, but I don't know why it keeps doing that, and I've had to drop the frames, the resolution to 720 just to be able to stream. But this is what I've got so far. There's really no need in streaming this because, I mean, if you're making a mod, Substance Painter, you could go crazy on this and you could spend hours and hours. All right. Just the general idea you need to get from here is if you're gonna try go for realism, just use images, reference images online. Oh, thanks. I know it's getting there. So, like for instance, the interior, I used like an image I saw here with a leather interior. The lights, I looked at different lights, and also if you have a subscription, you could actually go on here and you could type whatever you want and find it. Literally any material you want. You want carpet, you could probably can find carpet. Yeah, different types of carpet. Leather, you want tires, you could type it in here and something would come up that, this is what I do. This is what I use to make my tires and stuff. So I'm going for the truck I saw online. I'm trying to look at this one, which is this one I saw here. So I'm looking at that as a reference, and I'm trying to mimic it. See if I could build it. I could make it exact, like I could make the front windows tinted darker than the rear. And you know how I would go about doing that? I would go to the glass. Right now it's really tinted. I've got the where is it? Here. So I've got the windshield here. I could separate that. Oops, not this one. And then I could remove the mask on the front. And then I could bring it down here. And then I could just call it dark. And then this one would be light. And then I could come over here and tweak this. So I could look at where the tint is. And I could change this. So I could make the front, like, I could look at this image here and I could just copy what I see basically. And then I could come here and make the front a bit lighter and a bit less dark. Like that. The seats, I'm looking at the seats right now. They're kind of nice. I like them. I like the material I've chosen. I want to print. I've seen a seat with TRD written on here. I'm gonna put TRD on here with like it's stitched in. And what else? Yeah. Afterwards, I'm gonna do the gauges, and this isn't done. This isn't done yet. Okay, I'm not done with this. This is just, there's no. I've seen a lot of good images online of the interior. So don't believe I'm done. I'm gonna be looking at this. I'm gonna be looking at stuff like that. I like the metal trim on here. I love the way they've got a wooden gear shift. So I could actually, which layer is this? This is on interior main, is it? No, this is on -1. No, -2. Yep, -2. So on here, I could make a new layer, a new folder called wood. And then I could put it up here. So that would be my base, and then I would just mask this. And then I would come over here. And I would select this bit. And then I would come here, search for wood, put it in here, and then I would have a wooden lever. And then I have to do some work to that as well. You can't just leave it as it is. Fibers. Layers, fibers, what else? I could come here, change the roughness. Oops, yeah. It's kind of weird. I could find another one. Let's drag a different one in here. Oh, this is a material. I could actually drop a SMAP material in here. So there's different types. So I could come over here and find a SMAP material. This would probably be a better idea, actually. It has more stuff to tweak and change. And yeah, just zoom out. That's it. So you could see the idea, right? The power of this software. All of the trims I'm going for, the aluminum bits around the wheel, the aluminum bits on the door, that nice little shiny bit over there. I could share that as well. It looks like it's the same material. or I could probably find a better wood. It's vanished wood in it. It would be vanished wood. So I could just type vanished wood. Vanished. No, this has the stuff on the ridges. That's alright. So this is that part right there, right? So I could just come here and click on that, and then that's all I need to do. I need to change the rotation of the grain and make it more shine. So the grain goes horizontal. So I can rotate the grain on there. I'll do that later down, and then I can increase the shine. There's dirt on here as well. I can remove the dirt. So you see the difference it makes. It clouds it. There's the wood fibers. I can remove the fibers, keep it like that. Or I could make the fibers. I could change the way the fibers look by removing the amount and the thickness. And then I could increase the shine, which would be the base, I believe. And roughness would be down here, so it's on 0.1. I could make it absolutely smooth and shiny like that. Now I would rotate this bit. I would probably put another, so what I would do, right, let me think. So I'd copy this copy this, and I would mask it. And I'll put it only, no. I'll put it only here. And then I would add a mask to this. And I'll put it here. And then I would have to rotate this one. Is it the fibers that is rotating? So the fibers are here. How do you rotate? So I could rotate it by 90 degrees here. It didn't rotate. Why didn't it rotate? That's kind of weird. That is kind of weird because I did actually to rotate here. But that's not working. Odd. Can you rotate a mask? That is really odd. I should be able to rotate the mask. Oh yes, I am. But why didn't you do it the first time? Is it 180? Okay. Yeah, it is. Well, remember, this is Adobe, right? So they've adopted some of the Adobe stuff and put it into this software. I'm just going to use this one and do that. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to wrap it there. I've been going for a few hours now. Let me just zoom out. Let me stop the stream again to make sure you guys see the final image. Okay. All right. All right. I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up here, but. This is streaming, right? Yeah, it says I'm streaming. Jesus. Okay. So this is the power of the software. This is the stuff you could do. And yeah, there's not really much to talk about. If you want to mod properly, I strongly advise that you get this software. It's really good. And yeah, you can do some good textures in there. You could take up modding as a, or game development as a hobby, and really make some good quality stuff. Okay, I'm just going to take some screenshots to share on Discord, and yeah. But I'm going to wrap it up there, boys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to, off camera, just carry on texturing this, applying the textures. And I believe the next bit that's important to share is how I go about doing all the other bits in game, like adding the lights to the truck and just tweaking some of the settings, just to make it stand out and be unique. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on.